Hi, welcome to Bite Size Learning. I'm Jill. So, I posted a Google form, it's a daily check in the other day, and I had a couple of questions about what I do with that form or how I get the responses and how I send it out. So, I thought I'd walk through that. So, you can see I've now got my copy of the form. Once I've made my own copy, I'm the owner of the form. I have it all here. If I want to, from there, I can edit as I please. And I can use this toolbar here to edit. I could add a question. I could import a question. I can add a title or a description. I can add an image. I could add a video. I could also add a section. All of those things are there. And those are the questions. When I get responses, I will get them here through responses. And I want to make sure that this here, where it says accepting responses, is active before I send it out. So that's a good check, because if I click here, it is not active, and that's a problem. So I'm going to click it, and I'm going to have that as my responses are active. That means I can get responses. Other things I want to look at, I can look at customizing the theme. If I don't like the color theme, I can change that or the font. I can also come up to a preview if I want to see what it'll look like when my students do that. So if I click on preview, it opens a new window and I can see what the students get. The only difference is this little edit icon, only I have that because I'm the owner. The students don't see that. Additionally, here's the settings piece. So I can go to settings and I can make it collect emails automatically. I can restrict it to users only in the WRDSB, so they're required to sign in. But if I'm using it through the VLE and I may want to just unclick it, I could limit it to one response. Now, because I want to use this every day, I'm not going to do that. I also have, respondents can edit after each submission. They can see a summary chart and presentation. Those are other options. It's under general. Under presentation, I can do things like show a progress bar, shuffle questions. I can add a confirmation message, right? So I might say, thank you for answering the form today. And then when they're done, the students will get that message. And I just hit save. If I go back to settings, the other option is quizzes. I would not use it for a daily check-in, but I could make it a quiz. And with a quiz, I could assign point values. I can have auto grading, lots of different options here. And I can also release feedback for each question as I go. But it's not a quiz, so I'm not going to model that today. So next step, I want to send this to my students. I'm going to hit send. I could email it to them all. I could simply then get a link. And if I'm going to get a link, I'm going to shorten the URL. I'm going to copy that link and I'm going to put that into my D2L classroom. Once that link is there, my students can then answer all the questions for me. I just have to copy it. All right, so we can see here I'm in the form and I have two responses. Now I have a couple ways to view that. I'm going to simply click on responses. It's going to give me a summary. It'll tell me who responded. It will tell me all of their answers. So that's a big piece to look at. It's a lot. I can look at it that way. I can look at it as a question. So question by question and see what people said. I can look at it person by person. So the first person, what they said, then click and see the second person. Again, that's still a lot. One of the things I can do is I can come up here to this little icon, this green icon, and it creates a spreadsheet that will go to my Google Drive. So I'm going to go create a spreadsheet. Create a new spreadsheet, daily check-in responses. I'm going to go create. And we can see here I've now created the various answers are all there. All right, so if I want to use this daily check-in every day, I'm going to actually make a copy of it. So I hover over it and I come down to make a copy of it. It's going to create that copy for me. It's creating it. And then I will be able to see it. So I've got it here. I'm going to open up my copy, and then I will send that to the students. So I will send it out. Same way I did before. I might add it into my daily agenda, which is with my shortened URL, and I've got it there. Copy, done. And I can see I've got a response here. So now that I've got a response, I will come here and I've got my spreadsheet. I can still see all my options the same way, but I want to add it to my spreadsheet. So I go create spreadsheet. I can create a new spreadsheet, or I can select an existing one. If I'm selecting an existing one, it allows me to add it to the one I created for the first form. So I go to select. It's going to bring up all my spreadsheets. And what I can see is I've got the November 16th. Sorry, where did it go? So I've got my daily check-in here. That's the one I want. So I go daily check-in, I hit select, and it's going to bring it to my spreadsheet. And we come in my spreadsheet here, and I can see that I have the new responses are here, right? Because I can see it from the 17th, and then I can see if I click on here from the 16th. For my organization, what I want to do is click on the one from the 16th, and I'm going to rename it. And I'm going to rename it November 16th. And then here, I'm going to rename this one. Oh, how did I do that wrong? I wrote the wrong date. I'm going to rename again. So rename, and I'm renaming it November 16th, and I've got it there. And for the other one, I'm going to rename it, and I'll go rename November 17th. And what has happened then is for each tab at the bottom, I have a different day. So when I add it to an existing spreadsheet, I can simply, organize by date and see who's there. And I can also use the number piece there. If I use the same form over and over and don't make a copy, all the responses will come into the original spreadsheet. So by the end of a term, there could be hundreds upon hundreds in here. That is why I follow the steps. Make a copy, give them a different link each day, but save it to the existing spreadsheet so that I have each day there that I can go back and look at and have those responses for those quick checks.